What's up everyone, my name is Mike and welcome back to my channel, and today I just want to talk about the VeVe market, my game plan going forward. Let's get into this. This is not financial advice, this is my own thoughts, my commentary on my own position in the market. So everyone knows that the VeVe market is down and it's been in decline since about mid-February. It hasn't stopped. But also cryptocurrencies and stocks, everything is falling right now. So it's not necessarily a time to think that VeVe has just gone to zero or it's going to zero and it's just failing as a company and as a collectible market. This is happening across the board, and it's something that we need to start to think about in order to create a game plan for our collectibles, for our investments in VeVe, and what that looks like. This is a time where you really need to be less emotional with your decisions, but this is also a time when emotions play a big factor, especially if you spread yourself too thin and you put in too much money, more than what you were willing to lose, into a speculative investment like NFTs, like crypto, like VeVe. And in this case, you need to decide whether or not you're going to continue or what the future looks like for VeVe and why you got into it in the first place. In my opinion, VeVe was never a quick flip opportunity. I saw the licenses, the partnerships that they've created, and I wanted to get in on that and what they were building. And just looking at their roadmap and the discussions that they've had in AMAs, I realized that this wasn't a project that I was going to double, triple, 10x my money in a year. This is a project that I'm in for the long term. And with that means that I've bought and I'm holding for that long term. Whether that's 5, 10 years, I really believe in the collectibles that they are putting out, as well as the partnerships and licenses that they have created and that we're still waiting on putting out, as they've discussed that they've got many other licenses, IPs that they're wanting to release that they've already signed up. So when things are falling like this, I look back to the reason why I got in on the platform in the first place. And that reminds me that I've got a bigger vision for this and why I got into it. And I just hold through these difficult times. Now, as I record this right now, I'm about 100 gems off of falling below what I've actually invested into VeVe. So I'm still very slightly up, but it's probably going to fall below what I've invested into it. And even if I wanted to right now withdraw, I'd be withdrawing at a point something percent of what I actually put into it in order to get that money out. Not to say that I'm even interested in doing that, it's just where I sit right now with my portfolio on VeVe. So I've really focused on just collecting with VeVe, not necessarily investing, but focusing on the things that really appeal to me, what I like, and that's why you see these videos on this channel talking about Marvel, talking about Star Wars, and so on, and as well as the other NFT platforms that I talk about on this channel that cover those interests of mine, like Hero and the Palm NFT Batman cowls, and what I'll be talking about in the future on this channel. But all of these platforms, I've got a very specific game plan for them. But two things have really helped me through this. One, and the biggest one, is that I didn't stretch myself too thin with the money that I was putting into these platforms. This is all money that I'm willing to go to zero. It's my play money, so to speak, although I know some people don't like when I call it my play money, but essentially it's that. It's the money left over at the end of the month that don't go to my living expenses, that don't go to my safe investments that I put into broad index funds. It's all the money left over that I can do kind of what I want with, and I'm fortunate to have that, but I've worked really hard to have that. So I've got that percentage of my net worth that I'm willing to see go to zero, though I don't plan on it going to zero. I do focus on platforms that really appeal to me, my collectible interests, and what I see the future of them. So VeVe was one of those. Hero was one of those. This Palm NFT Batman cowl was one of those. And I have a set amount that I'm willing to put in up to a percentages of my net worth into each of these that I'm willing to go to zero, and I try not to extend above that percentage. So it is really calculated what I'm doing with these, and that takes away from the emotion when I do see them going down, that, you know what, I'm going to hold because this is money that I'm willing to go to zero, though I do see a definite benefit in the future for these projects. So I don't believe that they are going to zero. And as I've got more money, this is the time that I'm going to be putting more money into these platforms and really capitalizing on this downwards trend. And it's a great time, if you have that capital available to you, to dollar cost average, to slowly get into these collectibles as they continue to go down, or even as they continue to go up, whenever and wherever that bottom point is. You can't predict that bottom point, but you can dollar cost average over a period of time to try to average out where that bottom point might be and to capitalize on this downtrend. That's number one for me. Number two for me would be to actually invest into things that really appeal to me, because if they appeal to me, more than likely they appeal to other people. For example, I've already talked about it, my interest in Marvel, Star Wars, DC, all of these things are widespread general interests, and if they interest me, I know they interest millions of other people, and millions of other people that don't even know about these different platforms. So there's benefits, there's upsides to this in the future. So that's where I try to focus my investments on, and to point out these things and to make game plans for each of these platforms. I've got a game plan for Hero, I've got a game plan for the Batman cows, I've got a game plan for VeVe, and so much more that I'm into. But that helps me take away the emotions when I see these NFTs going down, to not panic sell and to not get out of them, because I've got a larger vision for them. And I've really done my research, or at least a little bit, enough research, I would say, to know that, you know what, these really interest me and they've got interesting roadmaps and I want to be a part of them. So that's my thoughts on all of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to know anything and everything that you're thinking right now during this downtrend. I hope you're staying safe with your money and your investments, and you're taking the emotion out of it. If you've overextended yourself, it's time to really create a game plan as to what you're going to do in order to get out of the position that you've got yourself in. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching.